Hello everyone, today we are breaking down Season 4, Episode 2, Dream of a Wish Fulfilled of The Witcher. But before that, remember to like the video, it helps out the channel a lot, and subscribe, and yada yada yada, let's get to it. The first thing we see is Geralt and company meet a couple of peasants on the road outside of a graveyard. They are here to collect a bounty on a monster. They try taking Milva's horse since they heard an old wives' tale about black colts and monster hunting. Milva says no and smacks one of the guys for trying. The two run off, cussing out the group. I've only watched 2 episodes so far, but the Geralt parts are very much right from the book. It is exactly what you read. Which is kind of funny because that's one of the reasons Henry Cavill left the role. Anyways, since there could be monsters lurking, Geralt, Jaskier, Milva, and Zoltan go on ahead to scout the place out. They come across a grave, and Jaskier reads an inscription on the tombstone, which was a mistake. A wraith sucks him down below. Geralt then reads the inscription to draw the ghost out. Zoltan and Milva head into the tomb to help Jaskier, while Geralt fights it. So wraiths are spectral beings that tend to live in cemeteries, places they used to live, or around the area they died. They have no memories of their past life, they just hate the living. People tend to become wraiths if they still have unfinished business, or they can sometimes be summoned by magic. They are also a real pain in the ass to get rid of. They are weak to silver like most monsters, but to ghost, so sword strikes go right through it. You have to kind of lay a trap so the wraith can't phase through your sword attacks, so you can do damage. Geralt gets dragged around by the wraith, trying to take him down to the tomb. Every attack Geralt tries with his sword phases through it. Geralt breaks free from the wraith's grip by using the sign Ard. Signs are simple spells all witchers can use. They only take one hand to cast, so it makes it ideal for sword combat. Ard is a telekinetic thrust, usually sending opponents backwards. This time Geralt uses it to propel himself backward. He slides on the ground and sets a trap for the wraith using the sign Yrden. Yrden can block monsters from getting through an area, or if someone walks through it, it can slow down their movement. Unfortunately for the wraith, it means it can't phase through attacks anymore. The wraith walks into it, Geralt is able to grab its heart, and he crushes it in his hand, putting the wraith's soul to rest. The others come out of the tomb relatively unscathed. We're now with Ciri and the rats. She has not yet been accepted to join the gang. She is learning how they do things, how they rob people. Asa is the getaway driver, and he is giving her a rundown of what each person is doing. We see Iskra and Gizeller create a distraction. The guard of the house they are going to rob comes over to see what the commotion is about. Reef, Missile, and Kaylee sneak into the house while he is gone. They are robbing from the richest person in town, the tax collector. Iskra climbs up the side of the house while the guard is helping Gizeller with the cart. Why does she need to do this when there's already 3 people in the house? No idea. Missile goes to work on the safe, Kaylee is keeping watch from inside the house, and the others are looking for other valuables. Reef comes across the owner, and he has Fizztech, which is basically cocaine. And Reef likes to party, and the two do some bumps. The taxman tries to escape, but Reef is too quick, and accidentally knocks him out the window. The guard knows what is happening now and alerts others. The guards of the town are trying to get into the house, but Kaylee blocked the door. They're all gathered by it. He then sets off some kind of explosive rocks next to it, blowing the door up and the guards back. The rats make their escape, but not before Ciri has to save Missile from being captured. They get in the wagon, but they have a tail. They have no way to slow down the pursuers. So Ciri makes a decision. Rather than being caught, she throws the bounty the group has stolen out to the public, causing a crowd, which the guards' horses cannot get through. The rats are not happy with Ciri right now. We are now with Yennefer in Redania. She is here to speak with Philippa Eilhart. Yennefer is here to ask Philippa for sanctuary and for her to join her fight against Vilgefortz. From the last episode, we know Vilgefortz has an army of mages, and he wants Ciri to use her power for his own wants. Philippa is a bit surprised that Yen would come to her. The two don't exactly get along. She knows Yennefer is desperate, but Yennefer knows that Philippa is kinda desperate too. She knows that she's been booted from Redanian intelligence, that Dijkstra is calling all the shots now. Philippa does not say no, but she does not say yes either. Yennefer leaves her. We're now with Geralt and the crew. They are walking back to the others when they come across another person. This man goes by the name of Regis. He's a barber, surgeon, and a herbalist. He lives in the area and invites the group to his home to rest the night there. Geralt thinks it's a good idea, he seems nice enough, and Geralt isn't too worried about this man being crazy or anything like that. Zoltan agrees but tells the group to keep their eyes open, that there's something off about this man, which is kind of true. Who lives near a graveyard and is that friendly? It is a bit strange. The group enters his home and finds his distiller, and he's got some strong stuff brewing up. Basically, he has moonshine. Everyone starts taking shots. Jaskier is pretty happy about this. We're back with the rats and Ciri. They are hiding in an abandoned building in town waiting for things to cool down. The rats are kind of crapping on Ciri for what she did. Missile is the only one sticking up for her, since they kind of are together romantically. The rest of the gang continues though, and Ciri has had enough, and starts telling them everything they did wrong, and they should be thankful she saved them. Kaylee makes another snide remark, and Ciri storms out. Missile catches up to her. Ciri tells her that she is leaving in the morning. As the two talk, a man notices them on the balcony. Could he inform on them? We'll find out. We're back with Geralt and the crew. Milva joins in on the fun and starts drinking. Regis gives Geralt a nod to come talk to him. Regis, being a man of medicine and a barber-surgeon, noticed how Geralt was favoring one of his legs. Geralt lets him take a look at his leg. Regis removes the bandages and inspects it. He notes that Geralt used magic to heal his wound instead of rest, which is the reason he is having issues. Geralt makes it clear that he wants nobody to know about his injury. Regis agrees and rewraps Geralt's leg, but with some herbs that can help with the pain. The two go into a philosophical discussion about Geralt being a witcher. That if he does his job good, then all the monsters would be killed and there would be no more need for him. So what then? Geralt says that people will invent monsters. That the man who beats his wife or does horrible things has to believe there's something worse than him to make themselves seem less monstrous. Basically, if there's still evil and cruelty in this world, there will always be need for witchers. We are now with Yennefer, and she is talking with Fringilla. So Yennefer is going to all her old friends trying to recruit against Vilgefortz. Yennefer believes Vilgefortz will try to recruit Fringilla to his side. Fringilla did help Nilfgaard conquer some of the northern kingdoms, and she is a powerful mage, so of course he would want her. Yennefer wants her to say yes to him, to be a double agent, find out his plans and where his stronghold is, and then to kill him with a dim meridian blade. So dim meridium suppresses magical abilities. It makes it so you can't use magic. So if it's in dagger form, I would assume that means you can't be healed by magic. Or maybe it gets rid of magical abilities for good if you get stabbed by it? I don't know, there's no info on the internet about what it does, but the way Fringilla reacts to it means it must do something pretty nasty. Fringilla still says no, but Yennefer convinces her by saying if Vilgefortz falls, then Emhyr would shortly follow. Fringilla is hiding in the woods because of Emperor Emhyr, and her life would be a lot easier if he was dead. We are now with Emhyr and Nilfgaard. He goes to speak with fake Ciri in a room. He's having doubts about her. She is nothing like her grandmother, who was fearless and ruthless. He goes to fetch some swords he knows Geralt must have trained her when she was at Kaer Morhen. So this will be the true test to see if she's real or not. She fails miserably. Emhyr knows that she is not Ciri. He leaves and talks to his spy master, Stefan Skellen. He tells him what he has learned and he wants to speak with Vilgefortz, since he was the one who said this was his daughter Ciri. He wants to kill Vilgefortz, who is starting to get some powerful enemies. Skellen asks him about the troops, but Emhyr tells him to F the war, that the prophecy will not work without his daughter. All focus should be on that. Ciri has the elder blood. He needs her to fulfill his plan. We're back with Geralt and the crew. They are still drinking heavily. Regis is the only one not drinking, just observing and listening. Jaskier starts talking a little too much here, however, starts going into what Geralt and the group are doing, going after Ciri to save her from Emperor Emhyr. So obviously, Geralt does not know that the Ciri in Nilfgaard is fake. Geralt is annoyed with Jaskier. They don't know who Regis is really, or who he could tell. Geralt still doesn't trust him like that. Geralt then realizes why Regis was so happy to share his moonshine with the group, to loosen their tongues and get them to talk about their true intentions. Regis does not try to hide this and says, yeah, it was. He needed to know if he could trust them or not. Geralt, annoyed, walks out of the house. He goes to sleep outside. He falls asleep. We see a dream of Geralt and Yennefer living in a little cottage, and Ciri is there with them, and they are a family. We then see Ciri head off, going to live on her own. We then see Ciri return, and she has buried the two. We see that Geralt's sword still has Renfri's brooch on it. In Season 3, Geralt got rid of the brooch. Ciri does not know about that though, and that is why I know this is Ciri's dream. Is this a premonition about the fate of Yennefer and Geralt, or just a happy dream? Some would say, well, how is it happy? They're dead at the end. But that's going to be the case for all of us at the end. At least they had some happy years together. Ciri awakes and the rats do as well. The town folk are outside their door. They wanted to thank the rats for stealing from the tax collector and giving the money back to the people. They tell the rats they will supply them and get them out of the town safely. The group is walking back to their campsite. Missel is making the case for Ciri to be a part of the rats, that she saved them and got them admirers. Kaylee is the only one against it. The others agree to let her join. They swear her in. Geralt now awakes from his dream, seeing all of this. I think that is what is implied at least. The rest of the crew is getting ready to head out. Regis and Geralt speak with one another. It turns out Regis will be accompanying the group on their journey, which is great news for Geralt since his leg will need to be treated again eventually. Regis has been alone for too long now. He would like to have some companionship, someone to lean on. Geralt likes the guy even if he won't admit it, and is fine with him tagging along. We're now with Istredd in a room looking over a bunch of books. Yennefer comes in to talk to him, but things seem a little off. Istredd is tasked with trying to find out what Vilgefortz's plan is for Ciri. The answer is in the books, but he has to translate all of it because it is very old. Yennefer tells him he can do it, that he already found out how to block portals. Who do we know that's been blocking portals? Vilgefortz. So we get why things are so weird. Vilgefortz is disguising himself as Yennefer to get Istredd to do his nerd work, basically. Vilgefortz gets a visitor from none other than Fringilla. Fringilla tells Vilgefortz of Yennefer's plan and shows him the Dimeridian blade she gave her to kill him with. Fringilla says all she wants is to be on the winning side, and she believes that side will be Vilgefortz. So is she playing Vilgefortz here as a double agent, or is she speaking true to him? Or could she be playing both sides, seeing who is going to win before making a decision? We're now with Yennefer, when Vilgefortz sends some of his disciples to deal with her. They start throwing magic at one another, but 3 versus 1 is not good odds for Yen. Luckily, Philippa comes to save the day and they kill the 3 minions. Yennefer asks Philippa to accompany her to the next person she is trying to recruit, the Queen of the Elves, Francesca. We're back with Geralt and Regis has one more philosophical nugget for Geralt, that he should focus on the joy in his dreams rather than the fear. That will lead him to a life well lived. I don't know, I think Regis and Geralt both know that however this story will end, it won't be pretty. Going against the Nilfgaard army to save a princess with relatively no plan is kind of suicide. So he's telling Geralt to enjoy the time he has left. We're back with the rats, and Kaylee pulls out a wanted poster for Ciri. It just says wanted alive. Kaylee does not like Ciri, and this could be a way to get rid of her. We're back with Geralt and the crew. Regis is riding from the rear, where we see him pull out a bloody bandage he took off Geralt the night before, and he gives it a smell. What could this mean? We'll find out next episode. And that is the end of the episode. What did you think of it? Leave it down in the comments below. And if you want more Witcher content, please subscribe and like the video. Check out the Twitter link in the description below. And as always, have an awesome day.